is up, internet? All right, we are back again. Kevin and I, we are here to discuss Big Brother. So big, obviously, Kevin's not here right now.
Yeah. I'm in a different spot right now, but I've missed everybody out there. I've been throughout the fall and the winter, Nick, going up to random people and grabbing them and being like, I want to talk to you about Big Brother. And then they're macing me and calling the cops. And I'm glad we have a forum now that we're back again. The show's starting up and we can talk to you good people out there about Big Brother. So,
I'm so glad that you and I can bond specifically about that because I got maced a couple times.
Wow.
I mean, it's just like, let me tell you why Andy Herron should not have won. And then actually, you know what? I don't get maced when people I say people are like, oh, here's a bouquet of flowers. I totally agree with you.
At least you're not still bitter about Andy winning, though. At least that's not still going on. Because Nick, we have a brand new cast here on Big Brother 18 to go through. We've got the house is going to be full of people mostly people you probably hate, but some people you might love here too. There's plenty of people to love, I think, in this cast.
Absolutely. So what Kevin and I are going to do is we're going to go down through every single person, and there's only 12, which obviously means that there's 4 more that are.
Where are the other 4? Who are the other 4 going to be? We'll see on finale night, on premiere night.
Yeah. So supposedly, it's obviously not me, right? Like I'm not there. So that's one person we can check off the list. But
who do you think? I mean, probably Vanessa, right? You think just because of the sister, you think the sibling connection, they'll do Cody, they'll do Vanessa.
Right.
What are your thoughts?
I thought that, but I've heard rumors about who it actually is. And it was like, it's just people like you wouldn't expect. Like that's supposedly the rumor is like, it's just people that have no connection. Like people that you would just not think at all.
Like who? Who? Give us some names from your sources here, Nick.
Like Davon.
No way.
That's what I see. See, that's exactly what I said. I was like, no, like not a chance. But yeah, it was just like the list of names that I heard were just like so random, like so just people.
Who would you want to come back? Who are your top people?
Oh man, see, if I would want Ian to go back in the house.
It's a good
one. I would want Frank Udy to go back in the house.
Derek, maybe.
What's that?
Derek.
Yeah, but see, like once you get to that level, like that elevated level, I think people are already onto you. I'd want people to go back in the house and people actually wouldn't suspect that we're actually going to be who had the potential to be really good, but that they never saw that happen.
Like
well,
yourself.
You know what I've realized? Yeah, exactly. Like me, you know, I had all the potential in the world.
Yeah.
No, but one thing I've realized is that almost entirely the cast that is cast every single year, and we'll talk about this. When you listen to them talk about how much of a fan they are, you can tell immediately they have not gone back in Big Brother history, and they have just watched the amount of Big Brother that was available to them in the casting period, right? Because I've gone through it, so I know. And so that's a key indication that they're not going to do so hot because they don't know how the game is actually played. Like they're trying to cram before the test, you know? And so there's a lot of people who actually don't know. Like let's say like Derek or let's say Boogie, for example. Boogie or Will or, you know, Rachel like came in on the season. A lot of people would actually not even know who that is.
Interesting. Because they give you what, the last 2 seasons when you're sequestered? Is that right?
Yeah, 2 seasons. And then like usually like if you ask and you're really cramming hard, they'll give you like season 6 or something. But those people then, you know, the game has like, you know, there's twists that may come back. Like the game has evolved much since then. And so, it's really interesting.
Interesting point there. Interesting point. I like that. And now, when did they have you fill out your little questionnaire? Like, what's your life motto? And name 3 adjectives. And if you were a bird, what kind of bird you would be? Like, when do they have you fill that out?
I would be a falcon because I like the color red. So like, they actually have you do that way ahead of time. And actually, it's really interesting reading that because it's almost like, if you're smart, you're still selling yourself, right? They're still like, this would be like the best motto for them to cast me. So you're still like not in the right headspace. Like you're still thinking like, what is probably like the most attractive thing for me to write so that I can still be cast? And so usually it's like before any of the processes. And so like, it's always like just the dumbest crap ever.
Yeah, that was my question too. Do they pass it back to you and say, revise this, make this douchier, or Or
You do have the option, yes. Like in the very end, like the very end of the whole casting thing, like after you do like your "Are you a psycho?" test, like sometimes actually I learned that even if you like don't like pass with flying colors, as far as like we wouldn't hire you at IBM, but we definitely bring you on for Big Brother. like I learned that like they take into account that you might have problems. Like they know that.
yes.
And so they're totally okay with it.
Well,
but yeah, so they do give you the option to revise it. And I forget what mine was. Like mine was something also just like total cheese bally. It was like, live long and conquer and take on each day like it is your last, like some Zen Buddhist, like
how did they know to read it in that voice though, is the question. How do they know to read it in that?
Because Jeff Schroeder asks you. That's how.
Oh yes. Yeah. I love your shirt, by the way, Nick. Great taste in clothing and colors.
Dude, I recently learned that in a lot of my Wikipedia videos, since I wear blue so often, that when people think about like me, right? Like let's just say like they're like, all right, go, Nick Uhas, like think like what is he image, right? It's me in a blue shirt.
Dude in a blue shirt. Yeah. Well, I like it. Well, should we get to this new cast here? What do you think?
Let's do it, bro. Let's dive on in, man.
All right.
All right, so number one on the list we have is Paul, who is 22 years old. And so, okay, Paul, so this is not to be confused with Paulie.
Yes.
Paul, this is a guy who's, he's from the Los Angeles area, right? And so, do you remember last year, Kev, how we kept talking about how people like screw up all the time, like the little sayings, right?
Yes.
Like they just butcher them, right? Right off the bat. Smooth as ice. I was just like, dude, it's cool as ice. Like that's not, so like I already know. My prediction, I'm gonna keep these real quick too. Yeah. My prediction is he has 50-50 chance for getting into pre-jury. Problem is he's a little like too cool for school. Like it seems like he's like apathetic for winning even. He's like, well, whatever, like if I make it, I do. If I don't, whatever. Like, so I don't know if he's hungry enough to like really like, put in the sort of like the cutting edge dagger,
gotcha.
Mindset to make it happen. And so I think that's his downfall.
I like Paul, but Paul's going to be an interesting one. I feel like Paul, even in these interviews right now, he's keeping his cards close to his vest. Like you still don't know what kind of player Paul's going to be, because he's got this, like you said, like too cool for school, chill kind of vibe. But then he also has this vibe of like where he could really rub people the wrong way and just kind of cast himself out. So I'm curious what it's going to be like when he gets into the show. I do think it's interesting that one of Paul's favorite activities is stage diving. Now, like that makes it sound like a hobby. Like even when there's not a concert, I like to just go down to the Troubadour. I like to go down to my local concert hall and just dive off the stage. It's dudes like that make it hard for us at concerts, because out of nowhere, they jump on top of you.
I went to Coachella for the first time, and I met Kim. The guy was like, dude, put me up. And I was
bro.
like, oh, dude, no, I don't. Oh, man. He's like, no, let's do it. I got my GoPro. And I was like, oh, man. Like,
the punks, I didn't even know that. The punks these days are moshing and crowd surfing with GoPros on.
Oh, man. It's the new hot thing, dude. It's the hotness. I don't know. All right, moving on. So we have Victor. So he's a gym manager. He's from New Orleans. He is not a super fan. He admits it. I am saying that he is going to go pre-jury. I think this is definitely one of those eye candy casts. You know what I mean? Like, because he's not a super fan and he admits it, this makes me think he just crammed it, during casting. He's got that total newbie attitude, which is like, like I want America to love me and like hopefully they don't hate me. It's like not like did not come with sharp knives to the, to the kitchen.
Yeah. And speaking of getting phrases wrong, when he was talking to Jeff, he said he binge watched Big Brother. Like, dude, that's not a thing. You don't binge watch it. You binge watch Big Brother. So
we needed to like start like just like a list, right? And like we need to have like the top 10 just like butchered sayings of Big Brother. It's because you know what it is. My prediction is that the producer is here. Camera is here, you know what I mean? Or actually producers over here, and they're like, they say it, the person hasn't really heard that often, and so they kind of pick up with it. Yeah. And then the producer's just like, whatever. I don't even care. Just like,
Yeah.
just keep going with it.
Totally. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna say pre-jury as well. He seems way too interested in working out and wooing the ladies, and not as interested in playing the game. I mean, I was reading his profile, and every other word is like, for the ladies, blah blah blah, for the ladies. I'm gonna eat food for the ladies, and I want the ladies to like how I eat food, and I'm gonna
get evicted for the ladies.
So he seems way too concerned with body image and the girls, and not winning Big Brother. I agree. Pre-jury.
100% pre-jury. All right, moving on. Number 3 here, Corey Brooks, 25 from Dallas. Super good-looking guy. My prediction is he gets eliminated just after jury, like one of the first jury guys. I think it's because he falls in that category of super good-looking, so people like want to keep him around. That'll give him a little like bump as far as like his social game, whether he takes advantage of it or not. He is totally the Dallas like all-American guy from Texas, so he'll probably be like, that ain't right, and like that's where he'll get evicted, right? Like he'll be like, I'm gonna do it for Bronte, and like that'll be the end of it, you know what I mean? And he'll go down like in the glory flames because he so chose, kind of like the dude last season.
Yeah. Yes, I know who you're talking about right now. It'll totally come to us. Yeah. we should know his stupid name. I think Corey's going to do pretty well, actually. He's one that I also have in jury.
Clay Honeycutt. That's
Clay, there it is. He seems like he's not too smart for his own good. Also, he's not dumb. He's pretty savvy. The one thing I did not like about his favorite activities, and this alone made me question him, is one of his favorite activities, and I quote Nick, is getting sick bro pics. That's one of his favorite activities.
I mean, look, dude, I also enjoy getting sick bro pics.
But here's the thing. That's probably a good bro pic. What separates a good bro pic from a sick bro pic? You got to be on like the top of a mountain. You got to be diving out of an airplane, Nick. I mean, help me.
You got to be stage diving, bro. And you got to be shirtless.
We'll have to ask Corey these things of what separates it to a sick bro pic. But I like Corey. I definitely think jury for Corey. I think he's got a shot in the game.
Yeah, I wrote lose and be loved. He's not winning. That's all I wrote. Just not winning. He's 100% just not winning the game. Unless it's just like one of those like Hail Mary passes that like by like super fluke, Andy, he like makes it all the way to the end and like falls in the text.
Could he be a Hayden? Could he be a Hayden? Somebody who won the game, you know? He's kind of in that Hayden mold. I think he's got potential.
Right.
And not Hayden, not him, not Hayden and Nicole, not Hayden and Nicole is so stupid. Not that relationship, but the Hayden that won the show.
Right.
Important distinction, Nick.
Who's actually doing really well here in LA. His app company Divi, like I see him, like he'll probably be at VidCon. I'll see him like next week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay. Number 4, Paulie, who's a DJ. He's obviously the brother of wow, we're just nailing it.
Cody.
Yeah. There we go. See, that's why I need you here with me, man. I can just throw to you, and there's not like that long awkward pause.
Hold on. To be fair to us, Nick, there've been a lot of people in 18 seasons in the Big Brother house. To be able to pull them off the top of your head, come on.
I know. So I think he's actually going to do really well. I think his attitude's right. I think he's going to have the support from not only Big Brother fans, which is always weighs in, but like also from production, as we know, like with Alyssa, like these things matter. And I think he also has the right mindset of I'm doing it for the money. I think he actually said it right. Probably the one dude who actually said it the most right. He said, look, I don't care about fame because if I have money, I can buy fame. And I was like, wow, like, dude, you got it, man. Like in on the game.
We're in lockstep here. I think the only thing that could jeopardize Polly's game is the twist. Does Cody come back in the house? Do they see that he's Cody's brother? When does he reveal that? That could be the one thing that I think could hurt his game. I will say, Nick, there's a growing concern that I have that in Big Brother 18, there's a possibility for a hippie jam circle. And I'm getting nervous because there's a lot of contestants here that when I was reading their profiles, like to play guitar. Paulie likes Krav Maga. I'm picturing this like hippie jam circle outside. Paulie's doing some Krav Maga. Paul's playing the guitar. Like the live feeders will have to keep us posted. I'm very concerned about a hippie jam circle, Nick. Do you think we should raise the terror alert here or what? What do you think?
I mean, I would suggest that there will probably, if it's anything like 17, it'll probably be like a kumbaya circle, and they'll all sort of suggest like, well, who should we vote out today? You know what I mean? There'll be zero scheming. It'll all be done in a giant circle. They'll probably draw straws, and then, you know, if it's Paul, he'll just say things like, well, that's cool, you know. I mean, I was in it for you. So it's like whatever anyways, you know, because it's all right.
At least I get left with my beard intact.
Oh, man, that's perfect. All right, moving on. Number 5, Bronte. So she's 26. She's super smart. I have her in at the top 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really funny. She says, I mean, she's a mathematician, but she couldn't do 9 times 9, like right off the bat. Not that I'm like saying that it's like a blow to her math skills, because not everybody that does math on paper does math really well, like, you know, in person. But she also, what I picked up is she hasn't seen past season 16. Makes me think she was another, like, you know, cast, kind of one of those people that was like sought after. So it'll be interesting to watch her, but I think she's smart enough to get herself out of hot water.
Gotcha. I'm not as high on Bronte as you are. I'm not thinking she's a tweener for me. She could be close to pre-jury, or I feel like one of the first ones evicted. The only thing I think she has going for her is this. I think she could be a floater candidate potentially. But if she tells people she's a mathematician, I mean, I saw the video like you did, 9 times 9. She thought was 89, which is something you need to know to pass elementary school. Good luck with being a mathematician. Hopefully that works out.
It is 81. That's like the one thing I remember. I remember all the 9s because like they're really fun. They all add up to 9.
Yeah, so I think she'll do okay. I think she could be a target if she reveals that she is a mathematician. That could paint a target on her back. I'm not quite as high on her as you are. I did think, again, something that was interesting about her favorite activities. She likes to look at adoptable dogs, Nick. Does this mean that she's doing like window shopping at the pound? Like have the dogs caught on when they see her come in? They're like, don't give her your good stuff, all right? She never buys. He just likes to browse. Like, what is look at adoptable dogs? Like, what is that? You're not adopting dogs. You're window shopping them. You're window.
I think it's really more like she's probably like on Instagram, you know what I mean? Just like going through the dogs, like thinking like, you know what? I'm a good person at heart. I just don't have enough money to adopt them all.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I think she's kind of, like I said, she's right on the fringe, pre-jury, jury, not quite as high on her as you are.
Gotcha. I think, I'm giving her the slip through the cracks type methodology. I don't know. I just have that vibe that like she'll like become one of those people that in the beginning, she'll probably be attacked, and then she'll sort of pass through, and then she'll kind of be a fly on the wall for a super long time, and then she'll make it past jury, and then she'll keep going. And it'll be one of those people that you're like, I can't believe she's still there. Like, that's what it's going to be.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Number 6, we have Bridget, who's 24. I put pre-jury, underline. I just like, I think it's just game over. I don't even know. Like, I think that it's just not happening. She's a nurse. I know she's smart, but I just don't think she got it.
Got it. So I will say this. I have not seen her video on CBS.com because I could not watch another Prius getaway commercial before. I just could not watch another 30-second Prius commercial. I did read her biography, and I liked it. I didn't see the video. I'm curious to hear from you why you think she's definitely going home, because she was one that I actually, just seeing her picture, just reading her bio, I liked her. And she's one that I thought could be jury. So I'm curious to hear from you more about why you think she's not going to make it.
Also had the same thought until I saw the video. Watched the video, realized that her interaction with Jeff kind of just told me that her brain is not one of those brains that's going to be like the rapid fire, like the in the moment kind of thing. There's a lot of the same response, like over and over and over again. And so it just kind of told me that in that type of situation, she's probably going to think it through on a lot of surface level kind of stuff. And I don't think that she's really going to be able to do that super psychotic deep dive, which, you know, you kind of have to in order to do really well in the game. And so you got to like play the 19 different options and, you know, overheat your brain and then fry it a little bit, get really paranoid. I think she's a little too normal. I don't know how else to say it. Like, I think she's a little too just normal person.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to say jury, but I did not see that video, so that might change the opinion.
Yeah. I mean, she's someone that I would hang out with outside the house. Like, I would like kick it with her. Like, she sounds like a really nice, fun individual.
Get some sick bro pics with her. You know?
Yeah. All right. Number 7, we have Zakiya. I said jury. I think smack and jury. She is a huge fan. She definitely dropped some of those seeds in there, so I believe her. I think she'll go really far if she doesn't get Devon syndrome, which is like also a super fan, also someone who knew everything about every little, like, you know, what happened, when, how, there, this, and the other. But when you get into the game, you get really paranoid really fast. And so that's the only thing that you see with a lot of super fans is that they know too much. Yeah. And then they get in there and then their mind just...
It's worked for some people. See Ian, see a couple others. It hasn't worked for some others because, yeah, you play too hard too quickly. You overthink. I also think she looks like she'll be a good house guest. I'm going to say jury as well. But, yeah, she could get caught up in that overthinking, playing too hard too quickly. She did say when it came to one of the most difficult things about being in the house, not catching up on her celebrity drama, Nick. That's very important to her. So we'll have to tell all you celebrities out there, Kanye, just ease up on the drama here this summer, okay? Because she's not going to be there. So, you know, relax. Celebrities out there, just chill, relax. Don't cause any drama until she gets out of the house. And then Kanye, you can attack another artist on stage, okay?
Oh, man, that's perfect. The next one, number 8, is Josiah. He's 25. He's a makeup artist. This, like, watching this interview, Kev, was like watching someone being interviewed by the FBI. He, like, gave nothing. It was like, so what's, like, your favorite activity? Well, if you could describe activities, I could. It was like such an interesting, like I learned nothing from this interview other than the fact that he's a thinker. And so for that reason, I put top 3. Wow. Yeah.
Because I've got him pre-jury, Nick. I've got him pre-jury. He reeks of overconfidence. He reeks of, you know, his first answer was about what will be difficult inside the house. Nothing will be difficult about living in the Big Brother house. I'm going to use my mind to get in other people's heads and my body to win physical challenges. I'm not paraphrasing. Like, this is what he said on his bio. He seems very overconfident to me. He seems very cocky for me. And I think that's going to be his downfall in the game. I think he's going to be like, please, I got this. I don't have to work at all. And then he's going to make enemies that way. He's not going to put the time into building alliances. So I'm going to say pre-jury. So
I would agree with you if he can't adapt in time. If he can adapt in the first 2 weeks, like how I did not adapt, then he'll go far. If he does a Nick Uhas, he's going to bomb, right? That's how I see it.
And can I also say 3 adjectives that describe him? He said visual genius.
See, I think I appreciated that. I think honestly, maybe I feel for him. Really? Maybe that's why. I just man.
What is a visual genius though, Nick?
I don't know.
You have any idea?
He can, like, picture things very well. Like,
yeah, I don't even know what that is. So yeah, maybe he's just a lot smarter than me.
Boom.
Yeah, maybe he's just a lot smarter than me, Nick. Maybe I'm just hating on him for that reason because I don't know really what a visual genius is, but I don't know.
Oh, man. Okay, so here we go. Number 9, Glenn. Just, dude. So done, so fast. He's gone. He is 100% the odd man out. It'll go 2 of 1 ways. He's not old enough to be a Jerry, and so I think the younger cast will target him by thinking that he's a threat. And if it ever comes out that he was a cop, he'll get Derek syndrome. People didn't know that he was a cop, but, like, they'll say, like, oh, too close to this person. Everybody watched number 16 and 17, those 2 seasons. They're going to find him to be way too threatening. They're not going to be able to really relate with him. So I have him pre-jury unless he can somehow or another convince people that he is older and wiser.
He's a tough one because I feel like he could go one of 2 ways. Either because I do agree he's going to be the outsider. he could be the guy that nobody wants to waste their HOH on because they feel like they could get him out whenever they want. So then they're targeting bigger targets because he's not part of an alliance. He's not part of a certain crowd. So it feels like a waste of an HOH. And he's just the pawn that's kind of thrown up on the block to get somebody else out the whole time. So he could slide into jury, but I think he's going to be someone that will be right on the cusp of pre-jury and jury. I did think it was interesting too. On his interview, he basically said, and I don't know if you watched it, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, that he'll do whatever it takes. Like no limits.
Yeah.
He'll have an affair. He'll flirt. He'll do whatever it takes. And so, I'm thinking like, are these attractive young women, is Glenn going to be able to turn on the sex appeal with these 23-year-old women to be able to get votes? And then also like, I don't know, if you've got a kid and everything, would you want your dad in there being like, dude, whatever it takes. I mean, have a slumber party with a couple of 20-somethings, just get a couple votes. I'll do it. I don't care. I'm crazy, Jeff. I mean, okay,
I totally got the same vibe, but obviously as the outsiders, we know who the cast is. Like for all he knows, it could be a bunch of 40-year-old women in there, right? Like that's what he's probably thinking.
It never is though, right? It's always like
never.
20, 30 something, and they got a couple outliers. So it's never like, and the winner of Big Brother, Grandma Betsy, or, and it's never that.
So, I mean, this is true. He's more like, he's like a Pluto. He's definitely on the outer rim, right? Like he's like way out there.
Yeah.
Even though Pluto's not a planet anymore. But yeah, so I agree with you. All right, moving on, number 10 here, Michelle. I said she's a huge fan, and she's going to be in jury, smack jury.
I think Michelle's got a good shot in this game. Like she's one I would put top 3, top 5. I think jury as well. I think she's a super fan. I think she's smarter than she lets on. If she plays the game right, I think she's not going to mention she's a nutritionist. She's going to kind of undersell her intelligence a little bit because she does come across as young and bubbly and naive. People think that they can use that and take advantage of that. But she seems she's smart enough, savvy enough, knows the game enough. If she goes into the house and undersells the fact that she's a super fan, says she's a teacher or something like that, I think she's got a real shot to do a lot of damage in this game. And I think she's certainly jury. I think she's got a shot to be top 3, top 5.
I think this is one of those people that we're not going to see for the first 5 weeks. Like it'll be just totally overridden with drama. All the storylines will go towards, all the bro picks and the fights and all the hoopla. And you will forget that she is even in the house. And you'll be like, dude, remember that Michelle girl? Like, yeah, she's still there. And she will end up like way down the road. That's what I'm thinking.
I think that's a good call. Absolutely do.
Okay, number 11, Natalie. Done, gone, like no question about it. Totally. She's a cheerleader from Venezuela. Well, she's from the United States, but she's originally from Venezuela. And I don't know, dude. Like I can't imagine this really. This has never worked in Big Brother history. It's always the same thing. She's gonna like fall in love with one of the guys, Glenn, and then easy target.
Fall in love with Glenn and it's all over.
Glenn will do whatever it takes, and then it'll just be that'll be it.
She's a beautiful woman. She's eye candy for CBS. But let me just say this, Nick. Her favorite activities are pageants, playing with puppies, looking at puppy videos on Instagram and online, and having tea time. I think enough said right there, right? Like.
Dude, that is it. That is, I think everyone who has ever watched Big Brother knows the way this is going to pan out.
Yeah.
All right, number 12, Tiffany Russo. I have her. Okay, just looking at just all the stats and figures, she's 32. There's a huge difference between being in your 20s and being in your 30s. A life experience, that knowing how to talk to people, just understanding people in general. She talks like Vanessa. Her brain works like Vanessa. You can already see in the way that she answered Jeff's questions, she was like not revealing any of her cards right off the bat. I think top 3, no questions asked.
I agree with you. Huge, giant, font 70, bold, but if people find out that she is Vanessa's sister, she is going to be gone. They're going to get rid of her as soon as possible. So depending on how this twist happens, how this goes down and when it goes down in the game, I think that will be there'll be a huge target on her back if either Vanessa's brought back into the show and it's Tiffany and Vanessa. It's going to be like piranhas in the water trying to get rid of these two. If they don't know that she's her sister, I think that I agree with you.
It'll come out so fast. She talks like her. She looks like her. I mean, dude, it's like, it's just her with brown hair. It's Vanessa with brown hair. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
So you think that they will know and she'll still go far in the game?
Yes, because I don't think there's enough other piranhas in the water right now. There's not very many sharks. Like if you go through the cast, like there's not a lot of people in there that are like, oh man, they're going to go after you. It's a lot of people who look like they're going to be able to learn, but it's going to take too much time. And I think she's going to be able to sink her teeth. So she's going to be able to figure out the game and get really far in with some of these people way past the deadline for when people could actually have gotten her out.
Here's part of my concern with this cast. I felt like last season, Big Brother 17, and we talked about this on the show, that there was a good chance any of them could have won the show. Mm-hmm. And we'll see what happens with this cast when they get in the house. But I feel like half of this cast, you can automatically say off the bat, probably not going to win the show. That was one of the neat things about last season, was anybody could have won the show. And it really depended on who won HOH, who won veto. It always depends on that. But I feel like half of this cast are like, Natalie's not going to win the show. Glenn's probably not. It's like, but we didn't have that last year. So I'm a little concerned about that, but I'm trusting in the game. I'm trusting in the structure. And I guarantee it will still be a really, really fun season.
I couldn't agree more, Kev. I think last year's Big Brother IQ was significantly higher. I think this year's cast is like, just from going through and looking at their videos, I would say more than half of them were probably sought after as somebody who they got casted, not that they actually went through the process. Everybody goes through the process, but that they actually went after trying to be on the show. And I could just tell that by the answers that they had coming from Jeff. You just know, you just know if they've actually seen it or not. And so it'll be really interesting, but I think one of the people who has a good knowledge of the game, I'd say there's probably like 4 of them. And so I think it'll really come down to those 4 power players.
Agree. It's going to be interesting to see.
All right. So here we have 6 categories that Kevin and I are going to weigh in on. And we're going to tell you who we think our pick is for these categories. So our first category is the first person to be voted out.
Yes.
And so I'm going to weigh in and say, I think it's going to be Paul or Natalie. And the reason I say Paul is because he's not going to catch on to like not rub people the wrong way. And Natalie, because something's just going to happen and everyone will somehow in their mind just justify that it's okay. They'll be like, you know what? She's pretty. She's got a whole life ahead of her. It's okay if she doesn't win the money. And then they'll just toss her out.
My pick for house guest most likely to be voted out first is Glenn. Now, I'm going to say this. Glenn, I like Glenn. Glenn's a cool dude, but I think Glenn's got a couple of problems going into Big Brother. First of all, he's older than everybody else. So he's immediately somebody different than everybody else. They're 20, 30 something. So they're not going to be as worried about making him an enemy, putting him up on the block. And then people can vote him out because he's older. And I'm also concerned for Glenn that Glenn might be one of those talking about I'll do whatever it takes, that plays really hard, really quickly, tries to make a name for himself. Because usually that first week, it's a mistake somebody makes is why they get voted out, because they make themselves a target. I'm worried that Glenn might be that guy that might make himself a target, which would be unfortunate because I think Glenn could be very entertaining this summer.
I very much agree with the Glenn. Yeah, the first week is like a total unpredictable mess. I mean, it's literally just, who knows? Picking the first person to go out is rarely ever accurate because there's really no statistics behind it. And it's never by who goes out first is never by logic. It's all by fate. Yep. I mean, it's just how the cards kind of fall.
Great.
All right. So number 2, this is our second category here. The first to hook up. All right. And I'm going to weigh in and say it's going to be Glenn.
Glenn and who? I got to hear who you think he's going to hook up with.
I have no clue. It's just that I can't imagine anyone else is even going to be coming guns blazing, just trying to do whatever it takes or whatever. And so I mean, like I mean, that probably won't happen, but
that would make for a very entertaining summer if Glenn just hooked up with all of the lovely ladies on Big Brother. That would be very interesting. My answer for the first hookup, I'm going to say Natalie and Corey. Both of them seem like they're younger, attractive, looking for love people. Both of them had mentioned that there's a chance to have some love in the house. So, and they're both attractive people. Corey and Natalie is who I'm going with. But let me say, I hope that you are right, Nick, because that means it's a much more entertaining summer.
Logically speaking, I think you are correct. But I just want to throw that out there as an option.
I love it. Hey, this is a television show. That makes for some entertaining drama. If all the girls are fighting over Glenn, that's a great summer. Nick, expect the unexpected, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, number 3 here, the biggest floater. I have down Bronte. So I think she will catch on very quickly that her best game is probably just to be a fly on the wall, and so she'll come close to the fire early on, and then she'll just super back off. And I think she'll just learn that floating is the best mechanism, and that Nick, math is not the way to do it.
Great minds think alike. I actually, out of all 12 people, I also put Bronte as my answer for biggest floater. I agree with everything you said. I think that she's one that she doesn't come across as that smart. She says she's a mathematician to balance things out. She's not going to be a huge threat. I totally agree. She's just going to sit back, let everybody fight it out, and float through the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here we go. Top 3.
Ooh.
All right. I have down Tiffany, Josiah, and Michelle. Now, most people are going to say, Josiah, what's up with that? And I'm going to say he's the guy that in this game, there's always someone in the end that you're thinking, how on earth did this happen? And I think based off of just the information that we have now, he's going to be one that surprises everybody because everyone would have thought, I thought this guy was so cocky, he would have gone out so early. Tiffany, for obvious reasons, I think she's smart, she's sharp, she's going to rock and roll. Same thing with Michelle. Super fan, she's got it in the bag, has all the information, all the tools to play a good game. Jose is the wild card. Those are my top 3.
Interesting. And we did not talk about these before we did them, but I have Tiffany, Michelle, and Corey as my top 3. As I said before, Corey is that Hayden, not too smart. He's easy on the eyes. The guys are going to want to be friends with him. The women are going to be attracted to him. His problem could be a showmance like our boy Clay Honeycutt. He could fall on his sword for that. And obviously, you know, the Tiffany thing, the huge asterisk there is how the house will respond to her being Vanessa's sister. But just purely on the house guest alone and on how good of a game player it seems like they are, I'm going Corey, Michelle, and Tiffany. I think that there's some other house guests, like maybe a Josiah, might make some enemies, potentially could be hard to make it there to the end. Corey seems like the all-American guy, like Hayden, who won the show, the one that the guys are going to like and want to be friends with and not threatened by, and the women are going to want to be with. So those are my 3, Nick.
All right, fair enough, man. Those are quality top 3 because 2 of them were the same ones I picked.
Exactly.
Okay, number 5, the biggest Jace. And so if people are just tuning in, they don't remember Jace. This is like the award that goes to the person who comes in and just is like has to be the most entertaining, like right off the bat, just really wants to like do whatever it takes to get as many, eyeballs and attention as possible to make it like the craziest summer ever, right? Like, and this award goes to Paul. I think Paul's going to come in there and be like, dude, I'm totally going to do a cannonball into the little tiny pool. I'm going to eat all the Cheerios and then blame it on someone else. Like, he's going to be that guy. Maybe he'll run naked again. I don't know.
I think you've swayed me. I feel like your answer might be a better one than mine. I think you make a very good argument that it could be Paul. I said Jose. That's who I said is mine. Just because, like I said it earlier, he seems like a guy that desperately wants the attention, wants the ladies to like him. I'm going to use my mind to move the cereal box over from this counter to, he just seems like a guy that might come in overconfident, guns blazing, just thinking that he's the one that's going to run the summer. And if he does that too quickly, people are going to jace him very quickly, and he's going to be sitting with talking to Julie very early on if he does that. But Paul's a great answer too. I think I might like your answer better than mine. but I think they're both strong candidates.
I could just see Paul being like, woo, and like taking his shirt off, like diving off of the second story, like onto the table.
Yeah.
Production's going to be all pissed off. Like, it's just, you know, I see that happening.
It's No Shirt Thursday. I'm Paul. Hey, look at my beard. I can see it too.
Definitely. Okay. And then we have number 6. This is the last category we have here. America's favorite player. And I'm going to say this is going to go to Paulie. I think he's going to be the heartthrob. I think people already love the fact that he's the brother to Cody. I think he's smart enough. I think he's good looking enough. I think America is just going to just totally fall in love.
Nick, again, you're a brilliant man. I said Paulie as well. I think he's got the good
man.
He's got the goodwill coming in from Cody. Everybody loved Cody. He seems like a likable guy. I also think America is really gonna enjoy Paulie. Now, obviously, should he go out week 1 or 2? We have no idea what the twist is here. If Cody comes back in the house could target Cody and Paulie, because a lot of times America's favorite player, they have to be in the house for a while. If they're only in the house for 1 or 2 days, 1 or 2 weeks, that could hurt them too. So if Paulie lasts in the game, then I agree, he will be America's favorite player.
Perfect, man.
Nick, I kind of think
there we go.
Yeah, like I feel like we should do this like weekly, right? I feel like we should like maybe sit here weekly and have a show where we talk about the episodes and
great minds think alike.
What do you think?
That sounds good, Kev. I think we should do it.
Season 2, what do you think of Nick and Kevin breaking down Big Brother?
I love it. All right, so let's let the audience know. We're going to be doing this for you guys. We're going to break down the week every week. We're going to weigh in. We're going to give you predictions about what we think is going to come up, and we're going to give you the insider's view. One, because I was on the show, and Kev is a super fan, so we really love this show, and we're going to just spill our brains and let you know what we think. So let us know in the comment section below who you think is going to be the top 3, who you think is going to be first voted out, first to hook up, biggest floater, top 3, biggest Jace. We're really interested in what you guys have to think. And don't forget to subscribe because we're going to be putting out videos every week, and we want to make sure that you do not miss a single video.
Yes.
Kev, do you have anything else to say?
Follow me on Twitter @KevSoup, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that is watching these and will continue to watch these all summer. We do these videos for you people out there. We've got a lot of great feedback, and we look forward to breaking down Big Brother 18 the whole summer with you watching. So thank you for watching. We can't wait to start the game here to see what happens, and we will be back to break down this show weekly.
Awesome. Woo! All right, Kev, that's a wrap.
Let's go take some sick bro pics.